Yes. Yes.
Because of mercy, God has decided and opted not to pour out His glory.
Yes.
Because of mercy, God has opted not to let the rain of revival fall.
Yes.
And the Bible teaches us,
Take your time.
Leviticus 16 verse 2, the Lord told Moses, tell Aaron your brother not to come just at any time into the holy place inside the veil before the mercy seat which is on the ark, lest he die. Meaning, Aaron could not approach God's presence carelessly. And the way his son Nadab and Abihu did in chapter 10.
Yes.
And what catches my attention is that in chapter 9, these two boys took part of the inauguration process to the priestly ministry for Aaron. Aaron was inaugurated there in chapter 9 as the priest for the children of Israel and for the tabernacle. And these two young boys understood and knew the process. These two young boys knew what God was expecting and what God what God demanded and required. And chapter 9 tells us, at the end of that chapter, tells us that after Aaron was through, that they presented sacrifices. They presented burnt sacrifices, peace offering, burnt offering, sin offering, and that Moses and Aaron blessed the people. And after they finished offering the sacrifices, it says that a fire came down and consumed the offering. A sign of blessing, a sign of acceptance, a sign that what they did was right before the eyes of the Lord.
Amen.
But now in chapter 10, these two boys decided to present to the Lord profane, strange fire.
Yes.
And that very fire that came down
Yes.
to devour the sin offering and the burnt offering as a sign of acceptance. Now in chapter 10, that same fire came, and the word says in chapter 10 in the beginning verses that the fire devoured the young men and they died. That same fire that was a blessing in chapter 9 became a curse in chapter 10.
Come on, Jesus.
We can see a slightly different and similar situation in 2 Samuel chapter 6 with Uzzah. Remember when David decided to carry the ark back to the city of David, back to Jerusalem, that they carried it on a beautiful cart and two oxen pulling the cart. It says that when they reached to the threshold, that the oxen stumbled. Uzzah stretched out his hand to hold the ark because the ark was falling. And because he did so, God struck him and he died. Because they did not follow the proper order.
Hallelujah.
Jesus.
When God's glory is being provoked in a place where there is not the proper order, where there is disorder, the only thing we're going to get is death.
Jesus. Jesus.
And what about Acts chapter 5 with Ananias and Sapphira? That is why God has had to hold back the rain of revival. He has had to refrain from pouring out His glory. Because if He pour out His glory among a people, among a people where sin abides and who are living in disobedience, the only thing we are going to get is destruction. That's why God has had to hold back from pouring out His glory over His church.
Jesus.
Because the church is in no condition to receive God's glory. Because if He does,
Jesus.
it's going to bring death.
Jesus.